On the next episode of Retiring Right Dallas, join me as we begin to explore this great state. From its lakes and beaches to miles of nature trails, we'll begin to discover why people say everything's bigger in Texas, even retirement. Do you wanna go, go, go? I'ma run this show. Do you wanna go? I got the green light, it's time to go. Woo! Let's go. Red light, it's time to go, go, go. Green light, it's time to go, go, go. Let's go. Red light, it's time to go, go, go. Green light, it's time to go. Make up, let's go. Do you wanna go? Howdy, y'all, and welcome to Retiring Right Dallas. I'm your host, Lauren Elliott. As a native Texan, I'm excited to show you around the Metroplex and introduce you to the developers, builders, and residents of active adult communities. But first, let's take a look at the vast range of activities and wonders that make Texas a great place to live at any age. I was raised in the capital city of Austin, known for its live music scene, food, festivals, and the Texas Longhorns. Located in the heart of the state, Austin is a vibrant city with Lady Bird Lake, which is really the Colorado River, running through its lively downtown. It's easy to see why Austin is often listed as one of the top places to live in the world. It truly was a wonderful place to grow up. I come from a long line of Texas adventurers and entrepreneurs. My ancestors were some of the first lawmakers, sheriffs, and even owned the first department store in Denton. This pioneering spirit was passed on to me as I grew up working in a family business and eventually opened a few of my own. My on-camera life has led me coast to coast, and I've been able to live and work in some of the most exciting cities. But as I got older, I realized what was most important to me. Things like being closer to family, warm climate so that I can enjoy outdoor activities, a central location so I'm close to airports, and with no business or inheritance tax, Texas is definitely a good place to call home. So I strapped on my boots, got back to my roots, and decided to set out my best life in Texas. I've had the opportunity to road trip across this gigantic state, from the rustic Gulf Coast beach towns like Port Aransas or South Padre Island to historical landmarks like the San Antonio's Alamo, where you can go back in time as you stroll down its charming riverwalk. Here, you can take a wine tour at one of the many Texas wineries or local breweries dispersed along the wildflower-covered hill country roads. Head just a few hours north and you're in the heart of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, the largest metropolitan area in the southern United States. In fact, Dallas is booming thanks to the explosion of cultural activities, sporting events, restaurant openings, and active downtown businesses. In fact, Texans are known for their friendliness. The name Tejas means friends or allies in the Native American Caddo language. With its mild winters, excellent healthcare facilities, and numerous options for an active 55 and older lifestyle, it's no surprise people are taking a look at Texas as the place to retire right. Here at Retiring Right Dallas, we look forward to our journey through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, where we'll be meeting with developers and builders that are creating award-winning and innovative communities designed for people looking to retire right. Coming up, they're sharing their love of seafood and shellfish with the Dallas community, and people are falling in love. Stay tuned as we visit Lover's Seafood and Market next.
There can be a lot of moving parts when you're preparing your finances for retirement. How can you be sure you're making the right decisions to meet your long-term goals? Are all of your assets working on your behalf to maximize return? At Mutual of Omaha, our financial professionals are specifically trained to help you answer these questions. They're able to draw upon the knowledge and resources of Mutual of Omaha and its affiliates to help you meet your personalized retirement goals. With our product lineup, you'll have a variety of flexible investment options that can help you enjoy retirement on your own terms and leave a financial legacy for your loved ones. Find out how we can help at mutualofomaha.com/investments or call toll-free 800-931-9210. At Mutual of Omaha, we are mutually invested in your future.
Craving seafood? Well, get ready for your taste buds to start dancing. With mouth-watering delights from Lovers Seafood and Market, this seafood restaurant's the real deal in this Dallas community. Lovers Seafood and Market is the second concept from Tracy Rothburn and Lene Fearing, the partnership that produced the local favorite, Shinshi. With a love of both good food and the ocean, the ladies decided to combine those passions into a single concept, and Lovers Seafood and Market was born. Food is a big deal in Dallas, so be sure and bring a big appetite. And if you're looking for the perfect destination for retirement, then follow us and we'll discover them together. We'll see you next time on Retiring Right Dallas.
Today we're going to be learning about reverse mortgages and how they can impact your retirement income. We're joined today by Mike and Shana from Mutual of Omaha, here to tell us more about reverse mortgages and whether they're a good fit for you. But first I'm going to have Shana tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, it's good to be here today, Jackie. Thank you. I have been a lender, a mortgage banker, loan officer in Denver, Colorado for about 25 years. And I specialize in just the home equity conversion mortgage program, also called reverse mortgages, which is fully insured under FHA and HUD. So my specialty really is working with financial advisors and their clients and assisting with putting the reverse mortgage into place. But I also work with attorneys, CPAs, real estate agents, and then also just directly to homeowners as well.
And Mike, what about you?
Well, thank you again for having us. I have been in the business. I started with Mutual of Omaha in 1987, so 34 years in the financial services business. About 15 years ago, we changed to a fee-based financial planning company. We have our own company, Golden Wealth Solutions, which operates under Mutual of Omaha Investor Services umbrella. Our area of specialty is working with people who are preparing for retirement and people that are entering in retirement, helping them plan for the unexpected, helping them design guaranteed income streams for retirement, create tax efficiency, and most importantly, create an actual financial plan for them so they know where they're headed and where they're going.
Well, welcome to you both. Shana, can you start us off today by telling us what a reverse mortgage is?
Well, first of all, to be eligible, like I mentioned before, the homeowner has to be over the age of 62. They're also required to pay the property taxes, homeowner's insurance, and any type of homeowner association dues or maintenance dues. That's really important. The other thing that's important to understand is that after the last homeowner passes away, then the beneficiaries, a lot of times it's the kids, but the heirs of the beneficiaries need to either refinance the loan or sell the house. And I just want to make a point. There is a little bit of a misconception about that, because if a homeowner has just a regular traditional loan, it's the same rules. The loan either has to be refinanced or the home must be sold. So it's the same rules at the end. And there's so many benefits for the family with the reverse mortgage at the end, when mom and dad pass away.
That's a great point, Shana. And I would like to just throw in one concept that I think has worked in some situations, is where we had a case where the mother and father, the reverse mortgage was a great idea for them. They were strapped for income. We were able to get the reverse mortgage done through Shana. But the goal, the one sticking point was that their daughter wanted the home. She wanted to live in it. She grew up in the home. So it was very important that she inherited the home, but she was very concerned about doing the reverse mortgage, about inheriting a mortgage, a new mortgage on the home.
Sure.
That was incumbent. So we were able to go in and do a life insurance policy on the healthiest one of the two individuals, that life insurance policy passed that tax-free income at the last death to their daughter, who was able to take that money if she wanted to, because maybe she doesn't want to keep the house now, but she has the ability now to use that tax-free income from the life insurance to pay off that incumbent mortgage, have the mortgage free and clear, have the home to live in, and yet the parents had the income all the time during their retirement that wasn't causing them stress on their financial situation. So it was a win-win situation all around.
Wow, with all those safeguards in place, a reverse mortgage really does sound like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is. It's important to note also with what Shana was saying, the reverse mortgage is a great tool for people when they're retiring, because when you retire, you've got a couple options. Most of it is draw from your taxable retirement buckets, the 401ks, IRAs, which creates higher taxable income. And the nice thing about the reverse mortgage is the principal and interest is eliminated if they had a mortgage, so that's basically income back in their pocket.
Sure.
They don't have to draw from their retirement plans. And then the other viable option is the equity in the home, which they can draw from, is also not considered income to them as well. So again, they don't have to increase their tax liability, which can help in many other ways, probably too many to explain here, to keep their tax liability low.
Mike, we've talked about the power of zero on our show before. Can you give us a refresher on what the power of zero is and why it's important?
Sure, yeah. The Power of Zero is a book written by David McKnight. His goal is to try to educate people on where we're headed in the future with the possibility of higher taxes. Who knows, right? Nobody has a crystal ball, but I think people would assume with the obligations that the government has to the Social Security programs, Medicare, Medicaid programs, and so forth, and not counting what's already happened this year with the COVID-19. His goal is to try to educate people about where the taxes are going and how to reduce your tax liability, if not get to a zero tax liability. Hence the name of this book, The Power of Zero. And there's lots of viable options out there to do it, but you have to start planning early. For those people in retirement, it might be a little bit too late to accumulate that tax-free bucket of money, which is again where the reverse mortgage comes into play to help them create that cash flow increase that Shana talked about that doesn't increase their tax liability.
Well, I think everyone can get behind the idea of paying no taxes. You can sure sign me up.
You know, when you look at the different buckets out there today, most people today that are retiring, the baby boom generation, lived, the first part of the baby boom generation lived on pension income. That doesn't even exist anymore. But we've been trained to put all the money away in pre-tax 401k plans, IRAs, and so forth. So now the word deferred is kind of a bad word. All you're doing is deferring the tax liability to some point down the road, which could be in a higher tax situation. So what we want to do is we want to plan early, and we want to have different buckets, because who knows what happens. Tax rates could be higher, they could be lower. If they're higher and we got a taxable bucket to draw from, we might want to draw from the tax-free bucket first. If tax rates stay low, then hey, it might be beneficial to draw from the taxable bucket. But it's just creating options and leveraging yourself so that you can, because the one fear Shana mentioned is running out of money. That's what people have in retirement. They are concerned about not having enough money to live on retirement. Well, if you're paying 25, 35 cents of every dollar you make in retirement to taxes, that's if we can eliminate that or reduce that, that's going to really help the person's longevity of their cash flow and retirement income.
You've got me ready to start accumulating some non-taxed buckets. So what else do we need to know about reverse mortgages?
You know, everybody's situation is different. A reverse mortgage isn't a fit for everybody. You know, the person has to be in the right place, right position, just like anything else, right? When we do our financial planning on our side, a product or a solution for a client may not be the same fit for everybody else. But when you look at retiring, most people don't really understand that their Social Security income could be taxable, depending upon their taxable income. Social Security uses provisional income, which includes basically all income sources. So it's hard to get away from it. And the tax brackets they use for the provisional income calculation are much different than your federal income tax brackets. So the advantage of the reverse mortgage being used as a frontline tool for retirement is being able to reduce or eliminate that principal and interest payment. A lot of people who have retired today, what have they done over the last 10 years? They've refinanced because interest rates are lower.
Right.
But when they refinanced, they didn't just refinance. They took money out and they built a wood-fired pizza oven in their backyard. They remodeled their bathroom, their kitchens. They paid off student loans for their kids. So now they've got a 30-year loan again that's extending till they're 80, 85, 90 years old. And that's a taxing burden on them in retirement. And so what they have to do to make up that difference is draw more money from their retirement plans, which is typical taxable. And that taxable income is going to possibly affect their Social Security income. It could have them pay higher Medicare taxes on their Medicare Part B premiums. All these things that they don't know. What I tell people all the time, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And it's kind of a rude surprise. I find my clients all the time, they're like, we didn't know that. I wish somebody would have told us this 10 years ago. We would have done things differently. So the reverse mortgage does have a big benefit to that.
This is a lot of great information about reverse mortgages and helping people make strides in getting to that 0% tax bracket. So what advice do you have for people who are ready to start doing their homework and learning more about reverse mortgages?
Again, it's not a fit for everybody, so you've got to get with a professional. I'm sure you can go online and look. I look at the internet and online search availability for this type of situation, financial planning, stuff like this, as a pyramid of data, information, knowledge, wisdom, right? People go on the internet and they find a lot of data and a lot of information, but they never have any knowledge and wisdom of what to do. And the important part of working with a financial professional like Shana and myself is I think we do, have the knowledge and wisdom to help people understand the situation. But with working with a financial professional like us allows people to really know if it's a good fit for them or not, and not just getting into something that they're going to regret. And so I think that's what you have to do. And you really have to do your homework. You have to sit down and understand what it does, how it fits. It's a family discussion when it comes to the reverse mortgage, because a lot of times the home may be meaningful to the family that they want to carry on.
Shana, did you have something to add to that?
So the approach I recommend is for the homeowner to contact one of our reverse mortgage specialists. We have people all over the United States, and we all partner with a Mutual of Omaha financial advisor. So we find that the partnership is just a great approach, because then we can evaluate the needs of the family and the needs of the homeowner, and make sure that we have all the information so we can make those recommendations. And that's how Mike and I work together. So we're really making the right recommendations for the family if the reverse mortgage is a good fit. But again, we have reverse mortgage specialists all over the country. There's Mutual of Omaha financial advisors all over the country. So we find that the team approach is just a great way to evaluate everything for the family.
Sounds like great advice from our friends at Mutual of Omaha. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Mortgage rates are historically low.
There has never been a better time to learn more about the new reverse mortgage.
Give us a call so we can help you reach your home financing goals.
Doing some of the stuff that we wanted to do when we couldn't do it. So we're traveling, looking for a place to retire too.
Yeah, looking for the right place.
Moved from Walla Walla to
Looking for
another
a place.
We looked up at the Washington coast.
Yep.
Our daughter is in Portland. We're going to move close in that direction. So we
Right.
think about Bend, Pine, Madrid,
The Oregon coast, Yachats.
where we sell the house we're in. And
Yeah, we
we
have to sell
split
it.
that money and make it 2 houses.
Yeah. So we could be there part of the year because she's there.
Yeah.
And then when it's too yucky there, we can go down to New Mexico for part the half the year. I mean, just half year and half year not. That sounds like a lot to work on, but yeah, that's what we're thinking.
Our first trip was to New Mexico, Silver City, New Mexico. We spent a month there, right on the edge of the Gila
We were in Silver City.
And this is up
geography.
7,000 feet, isn't it?
It's 5,000
5,000 feet, so it's up a little bit, so it stays cooler.
in the summer. And in the winter, it's not too bad because it's almost to Mexico.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So we had some friends there. There's a little college there, so they have things come in culturally,
Pickleball.
different things. I play pickleball. This is funny because I always thought, I don't want to play that. That's,
He's a racket person.
I like racquetball, you know, and it was like pickleball. You know, that sounds like shuffleboard. It sounds like sort of retirement, kind of stuff. But a good friend down there was playing, and he said, "Well, would you want to come?" I said, "Well, I've never tried it." And he said, "Well, come and try it."
Yeah,
it's actually really fun, and it's a really social kind of thing because they a lot of people arrive, and then they only have a certain amount of spaces, right? So they had like 4 games going.
Do you have to be old to play?
No. And so racquetball, pickleball.
And they had this really interesting 25-cent show that has been going on for 20-some years, and this young man who was the son of the mayor decided that he just started having this event and he'd make a lot of money, and then he'd go around all year and hand it out to people. Pretty cool community.
I like to play music, so I usually went to Silver City. I went to the community radio station. Actually, I got interviewed in Maine when we were visiting there. But they interviewed me, and I could play music, and then I started playing around town a little bit. So that was really fun. April 18th, I started the COVID Single Song Festival, which is me playing one song once a day. And the goal was to not repeat myself. So here we are at August 12th. So that's about 105 songs. We went down to Oregon, back into Oregon from Washington, and spent a night or 2 down at the Minam River. So we know some places, but we want to explore places where we can go boondocking with this and spend a week and a half in the middle of nowhere, somewhere with a beautiful view. The other thing we did a lot of is hot springs. We've stopped doing that a little bit, but we'll probably do that again.
On our way back from Silver City, we stopped at Ojo Caliente. It was very crowded.
Whereas the one outside of Silver City there was
not too many people.
There. We got the van in January. Then the next thing we know, we were down in New Mexico when it came up, and then February was COVID. I think we're sort of branching out into this. This is the first time we've done this. I feel like we're probably going to accelerate to different places. We go back home tomorrow.
And then we're going to quarantine for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And then we'll go to New Mexico, or maybe we have a cousin in New Mexico we'd like to see, and maybe we'll go to the Oregon coast. We don't know.
They're
Colorado. They're in Colorado.
Cousin,
They're in southern Colorado, so they're close to New Mexico. Well, it's so comfortable. It's a magical thing. It's really pretty good, and it's easy to drive.
Thank you for watching The Retiring Right Show. We are here to showcase the endless resources available to help you live your own retiring right dream. To connect with us or our partners on the show, please visit retiringright.us. That's www.retiringright.us, not .com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at retiringright.us to get the latest episodes, special offers, and see our behind-the-scenes shenanigans.